80% of the world's refugees are in the global south, in countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Lebanon, and Jordan. But more than 80% of published research on refugees comes from researchers based in the global north. LERRN wants to change that balance. Refugees have always been individuals. There are more than 14 million refugees in the world today, and each of them have their own story.
I was in Lebanon, in Orsal, and I saw there's like the camp, it's so far away from the washrooms. So women to go to washrooms during night, it's so dangerous for them. I distributed like a whistle and light for women, just like to go during the night. So this is like a concrete example between local initiatives sometimes filling the gap.
At the Global Refugee Forum, there were 3,000 participants, 70 of whom were participating as refugees. That means that 2% of the participants were refugees. If the UN were to host a conference on indigenous rights or women's rights, and 2% of the participants were from an indigenous background or were women, we would see that process as being illegitimate. LERRN worked with Mustafa Alio, the advisor to the Canadian delegation at the Global Refugee Forum in Geneva in December 2019. This may seem like a small act, but it's huge in terms of supporting refugee participation.
Mustafa, welcome to your seat at the table.
Refugee participation, it's been absent for a while, and they've been excluded from the dialogue, from the conversation, from designing the programs and responding. So we're gonna not have any effective and positive impact as long as we are working exclude them.
By including refugees in the research process, the process of developing programming and policy, what we're able to do is to engage with those actors who most fully know the realities. Who better to understand the challenges and opportunities that come from being a refugee than refugees themselves?